Thank you so much, thank you.
So we've got Stephen and Stephen, father and son. This is why I'm getting confused. Both called Stephen. Both from Liverpool, and now you live in Darlington,
That's
yeah?
right.
But this band, the Fabs, it's got a bit of a history, hasn't it? Because obviously, Dad, you played at the Cavern?
Yeah, I played a couple of times at the Cavern.
Yeah.
A couple of times in 1969. I think it was July and... might have been June and August, I think. First time we were called out as a standing group. Rushed down to the Cavern. A big, wonderful, wild and wonderful world. For a young lad, I was 17 at the time. So it was a very, very different world going down those 18 steps into like a cave. Loved every second.
Tonight you'll hear how the groups really sounded down those 18 steps at a famous club in Liverpool in the 1960s called the Cavern Club. We hope you enjoy this show tonight. I'm Steve. On the lead guitar tonight we've got Mark. Hello. I'm back there on drumsticks. Hello. I'm wearing the mood for a great time.
Did you meet any of the guys that were playing there at the time, like the Beatles and and Scylla was there? Was Scylla behind the cloakroom? Was she?
Scylla used to work in the cloakroom, but not when I was there. I was basically I'm younger than the Merseybeat groups, and he's even younger than me. By about say 8 to 10 years, I was behind. So my first gigs at the Cavern were in '69.
Sure, yeah.
And of course the Beatles had gone. By '63, the Beatles had gone.
Sure.
People like the Merseybeats, I think they left about '64, '65, but all the Merseybeat groups had gone. But the Cavern did continue as a really vibrant venue throughout the whole of the '60s and into the early '70s before it closed. There were some great bands in Liverpool in the late '60s. I'm not saying mine was one of them, because I was sort of cutting my teeth in '69, I was like a young lad.
You were learning the trade.
Learning the trade, yeah. I've nearly got it now. Nearly got it now.
So the show you're doing tonight, I must admit, I'm looking forward to see it, because I've seen you in rehearsal tonight, or doing the sound check, and it sounds really interesting. And it's not just that you're playing that old sort of Merseybeat sound from the 60s, it's also got narration to the show as well. So it's more like theatre than just a band playing on a stage, isn't it?
Yeah, we have different shows. We have a standard show. And we've got a couple of theatre shows.
Beat club in the world. By 1965, many of the Liverpool groups that played at the club had become famous. Let's go back to those days now. Back to the year 1965.
The other Stephen, your son here. Now, how is it you got involved in obviously musical family, and you followed what you just love the 60s music, or did Dad just persuade you, or what?
Was brought up on the music really. From a young age, used to tag along to the practice sessions over in the great town of Shildon, and just used to pop on the drums when the lads had a break. And one night, the lads stayed in the guitar and bass and was singing. And he popped to the toilet, come back, and he didn't realise it was me on drums. He thought it was the original drummer.
It's true.
So from then on, really got a few lessons at school, not many to be honest with you, and then just sort of took it on my own accord to learn them.
Being a younger lad, though, I mean, you must have other sort of heroes that are sort of more recent, I guess. I mean, who are your own heroes, basically? Now, is it those 60s icons like the Beatles and Jerry and the Pacemakers, or the Searchers, or have you got more sort of modern?
I know his answer here, Peter. I know his answer.
Go on, what's he going to say?
It's an old band.
I do like the 60s. I was brought up on the 60s, so obviously the Beatles, Kinks, Rolling Stones, and Small Faces. But I'd say the main band at the top of the list is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Been lucky enough to see them twice, once in America, once in Ireland. Just a band that oozes class. Alongside the 60s bands as well, so...
He's 60s influenced, isn't he? The Tom Petty's totally 60s influenced.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Beatles and all those type of bands, you know?
Yeah, but not many modern bands really take my fancy nowadays. I'd say it's Tom Petty at the top of the list, and then followed by a lot of the 60s stuff, a lot of soul. You look at the Four Tops as well.
Oh, you're a man after my own heart. I love the old Motown and the old soul.
He did play though in like a modern types of bands, like doing the Killers, all that type of stuff. That didn't
I was in that band for a few years, and then stood in for what was known as the Beat Club.
That was us. We were called the Beat Club, yeah.
Right.
13 times festivals, pubs, theatres,
and when the drummer left, he was the obvious choice just to slot.
Ah, right. Just one last thing. When you contacted me, you mentioned something about the Buzz Brothers.
That's right, yeah.
And of course, Malcolm and I, my business partner, we're called the Buzz Boys.
Yeah.
So who were the Buzz Brothers?
Yeah, the Buzz Brothers were a Liverpool band in the 60s. I think there were three guys, and they had the surname of Wenton. And I think it was Bernie Wenton. I'm not sure if he was actually Buzz or not, but Bernie went on to win Stars in Their Eyes when he sang When I Fall in Love by
Nat King Cole.
So I remember seeing the band years ago in the 60s, Bernie and the Buzz Band, but they were quite a big name. They were like three sort of black lads.
Sure.
You know, and they do those souls.
And I'm glad that the whole thing is still sort of progressing, and we're still entertaining people.
I think we're sort of finding that the older people think, oh, it's 60s, maybe a bit old hat. What we found, there's been a swing just lately where a lot of the younger people, like Stephen's age, and older as well, when they go to like an in type of bar, they want to see a live band, and they love the 60s and the soul and that type of stuff, so it might be an area where we might just swing over to a little bit. It's like the upmarket bar which pays the right amount of money.
Yeah, excellent.
But not just that, will we be appreciated? We don't usually do bars or pubs, but I think
maybe something to look out for well, this is it, things do change, and you've got to change with the times, haven't you?
A lot of the theatres now, a lot of the theatres, they want you to hire them, and you're talking upwards from £1,000.
A lot of money.
A lot of bottoms on seats too. You just get the money back to hire a theatre, so it's a big gamble. If it doesn't pay off, you find yourself in big trouble.
Well, listen, I know you're on in about 10 minutes' time, so I'm going to leave you to it now, guys. Been lovely to meet you, great to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing the show tonight.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much.
The Fabs, thank you.
Thanks, Peter.
Cheers now.
Thanks.